All right, so thank y'all for meeting with me today.
You're welcome.
I have
You're
with me
welcome.
Coach Jennifer Hill, our instructional coach here at Brookwood,
Mm-hmm.
and Miss Shelley Woods, our one of our seventh grade math teachers here at Brookwood. So just to kind of give a synopsis of what we've done, I've had a coaching cycle with Shelley,
Mm-hmm.
where I observed her teaching a
Yes.
lesson with her students, and Coach Hill coached me through what the things I was looking for and
Mm-hmm.
how to do those things. So this is post the
Lesson.
the
Yeah.
lesson, and so I just have a few questions that I want to
Okay.
talk to you about. And Ms. Hill, as you can probably tell, I'm kind of nervous about doing this. So if you want to jump in
I can do that.
help me out at any point here. All right, so I've come up with a few questions, Shelley, for you.
Okay.
First one, can you briefly share, then I'm calling you Shelley, but
Yes,
y'all,
it's totally fine.
we're on first name basis around here. Mrs. Woods, can you briefly share the standard you were teaching in today's lesson and how the activity connected to the standard?
Sure. So we were working on our fourth standard, which is like our numbers and our operations, and it's being able to apply and extend our knowledge for of operations of whole numbers, fractions, decimals, to add, subtract, multiply, and divide our rational numbers, including our integers. But our focus was on our integers, and so we went into kind of using some real life examples. We went into thinking about temperature and how temperature changes and stuff from the negatives and the positives, and just kind of going into that and using some visuals, some practice problems, things that they would be able to like make some real life connections with, basically.
Yeah, that was real good. So tell us, what strategies did you use to engage your students? Because they were pretty engaged, and I was impressed with that. And which of those strategies do you feel work best for you?
Well, during our guided practice, like as in our whole group part, I like to get some immediate feedback from them. So and just being able to keep them all engaged. So like, we used some whiteboards. We used, where they could kind of just jot down their answers real quick, or jot down their thoughts, and then share them with their groups. They can, they could share them with me once we had an opportunity for them to collaborate and just talk about, hey, does your answer match my answer? Does it make sense? And so just mostly the whiteboard for that immediate feedback though.
Gotcha, I love that. So how were you able to know whether the students mastered the skill today? What data were you using to measure that?
Well, we used a couple things today. One of those things was like our exit ticket at the end of it, just to kind of get an idea of, okay, who did their best, did they grasp the concept? And then I had of course some that are still inconsistent with it, but we also met during small groups, and during those small groups I was able to kind of check for understanding as we were going through the process, and hopefully able to fix some of those misconceptions like right away.
So that was able to guide your teaching, or to tweak your teaching as you needed to, gave you a sense of immediate feedback.
Absolutely.
You were able to talk to them and hear their verbal responses.
Yes, and just being able to sit down in the small groups. I know that well, a lot of people don't do small groups in the middle school setting, unfortunately, but being able to kind of get a feel for each kid, and instead of seeing them in this large group and somebody getting lost. So
yeah, I like that. So were there particular students or groups who needed extra support, and how did you adjust that for them?
Yeah, there's always the strugglers, and so one of the things was just taking out some manipulatives with them, particularly since we were talking about the integers and stuff. using a number line that goes into my negatives, and letting them see that, you know, when we're adding, you know, hey, going in this direction or going in that direction, but being able to see, like, you know, especially when we're subtracting or something and we're taking that difference, you know, it's a hard concept sometimes for the kids to understand that, you know, subtracting is just seeing the distance or the difference in the numbers. It's not necessarily like, you know, as abstract when you just kind of put that in front of them like that. So
Right, real good. One thing I did notice is that you didn't use a whole lot of technology today.
No.
So how might technology have supported this lesson?
Well, today it was mostly just kind of like introduction, trying to get the kids thinking, trying to get them, you know, some real life experiences right there in front of them. But in the future, you know, we could use some digital, like number lines, things like that. There's lots of different resources like apps and things like that. 99 Math, which we'll, you know, probably get on at some point, and kind of
just told me about that one. I like it.
Yes. And so because it gives you some immediate feedback, and you can see, you know, okay, wait, no, this kid didn't do very well today, and this kid had, you know, they got so many right, or this and that. And so, and you can also kind of use that comparison to go, where should they be?
I like that. So thinking about strategies that help all students master skills, what's one plan to keep using or adjust to raise achievement for every student? So what do you plan to keep doing
Small groups.
did today?
Small groups. I mean, without a doubt, I feel like we get more bang for our buck every time that I'm pulling them and kind of meeting them right there where they are. And so, you know, you're always going to have those that are just like, bam, nailed it, got it the very first time, no problem, I get it. And then you've got those that just need a little more conceptual understanding and practice, you know. And so I can see that well through the small groups, and plus that gives them an opportunity to work with groups, to collaborate with one another, to be able to hear it from other students as well. And that is a big deal, because, you know, we all just learn different ways, and sometimes we communicate the same thing in just different ways, and it just helps them, and it helps them, you know, get it a little bit better.
I love it. You know, I'm at the Tier 1 students are at the heart of who I am. So small group instruction, it hurts me to hear you say that middle schoolers are not doing small group. Let me know who those teachers are. We'll So what is one thing from today's lesson, and this is the last question, that you were particularly proud of, and what area do you think you'll strengthen next time?
One thing that I feel like that I like most about this particular lesson, or the particular strategies even that were used, is like, my kids are engaged. My kids are involved in and participating in the activities and in the conversations. And I think that that's a huge part of it, because talking about math is one of their greatest, I think, developed, but it's one of their greatest skills, because, you know, if we can talk about it, we can think through it. And so hearing them talk about it, and hearing them put understanding to it, and how they're going through the process, I think that that's a huge thing for them. Awesome.
And what do you think you'll strengthen next time?
Well, maybe just kind of pushing those students who, like I said, you know, you always got those students who are just like, bam, I got it, no problem. But just giving them some of that more extended work where, hey, I can go deeper into this, and giving them some more challenging work that will push them farther than maybe the rest of them.
I love that. Well, I just wanna thank you for allowing us to come in today to
Absolutely, yes, thank you very
observe.
much.
You're so
The lesson
welcome.
was, I think that we appreciate, that's what we're honing in on, and that's what I'm focused on, with this class and with the lesson that I'm doing for this class is student engagement, as a strategy to improve student achievement, and
Yeah.
your students were highly engaged,
Thank you.
and, so, thank you. Thank
You're
you
so
much.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
so
Do you
welcome.
need to add anything, Ms.
I
Hill?
don't think so. I think that was covered very well. I think that the answers were well spoken and
Thank you.
thoughtful and elaborative. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you so
I
much.
appreciate it.
All right, thank you. All right.